So this is going to be the Just for Fun worksheet. It looks like there's only 2 worksheets for this section, so this is going to be the first one, and then I'll do the other one by Thursday at the latest. Probably today, but we'll see what we get through. So the instructions say to solve the equation. Be sure to check each solution in the original equation, so just getting in the habit of what we did in the last video. Then find your solution in the answer column. Each time the exercise number appears in the code, write the letter of the answer in the space above it. If the answer has just like a black dot, leave the space blank. So I usually just draw like a dash in the space wherever that goes. So these are for answers 1 through 6, 7 through 12, and 13 through 18. You do have to show your work on a separate piece of paper. Your answer will go here, and then the letter will go up here beside it as well, so that way you can keep up with it. So let's just start with number 2. So square root of 3y is equal to 6. And this is the Just for Fun problems. Here we go. Alright, so the square root of 3y is equal to 6. Well, this one, I got to undo this square, so I'm just going to go ahead and square both sides. So that square root and square undo each other, so 3y is equal to 6 squared is 36. Divide by 3. Y is equal to 36 divided by 3 is 12. And now I need to go back and check it. So check it. Square root of 3 times 12 is equal to 6. So 3 times 12 is 36. So square root of 36 is equal to 6. Square root of 36 is 6. It's equal to 6. So we're good. So on your paper then, you'd come over on number 2, and you would write y is equal to 12. Then I come over here, I find this one here, e is 12, so I'm going to cross it out, and then I'm going to put an e up here beside the 2. So this is how I want your answer to look. Okay, you don't necessarily have to cross it out over here. I'm just doing it so I make sure I know I used the answer already. So y is equal to 12, and the letter is e. So then up here, anywhere I see the number 2, I put an e. And part of the reason for leaving it is that way you can see quickly what your answer was if you need to go back if you miss one. And there's another 2. That's an e. Alright, 4. The square root of m over 4 is equal to 3. So with one like this, okay, we didn't do one like this in the other video, so we still have to square both sides. So this now becomes m over 4 is equal to 3 squared is 9. So now I need to multiply both sides by 4 to get rid of this 4 on the bottom. So those go away, so I'm left with m is equal to 9 times 4 is 36. So now I need to check. The square root of 36 over 4 is equal to 3. So now I have options. I could either split this into 2 separate radicals, or my other option is just do 36 divided by 4 is 9. So that's the square root of 9 is equal to 3. Square root of 9 is 3 is equal to 3. So we're good. So I'm looking for m is equal to 36. So I write that here. Find that answer. That's F. So 36 is F. So F is what we put here. So you have your answer. You have our F. So now, anywhere I see a 4, I put an F. So following it along. Looks like the only one is right here at the end. Let's do number 10. So 10 is the square root of 8a plus 1 plus 5 is equal to 16. So, I need to first subtract this 5. The square root of 8a plus 1 is equal to 16 minus 5 is 11. Now I got to square both sides. So this leaves me with 8a plus 1 on this side is equal to 11 squared is 121. Subtract 1. 8a is equal to 120. Now I need to divide by 8. So a is equal to 120 divided by 8, which I can take out at least a 4 from the top and the bottom. If I take out a 4 from the top, that leaves me with 30 over, taking out a 4 there, leaves me with 2. So a is going to be equal to 30 divided by 2 is 15. So number 10 is a is equal to 15, which is just a blank. So I can cross that one out. So anywhere I see the number 10, I'm putting a blank. So I usually just put like a little dash there so I know that I've taken care of that one, just so it's clear. That's that type. And we'll do, actually, hopefully you realized I forgot to check, so I need to do that. Square root of 8 times a is 15 plus 1 plus 5 is equal to 16. 8 times 15 is 120. So this is the square root of 120 plus 1 plus 5 is equal to 16. 120 plus 1 is the square root of 121 plus 5 is equal to 16. Square root of 121 is 11 plus 5 is 16. 16 is equal to 16, so we're good there. So sorry about that. I had forgotten to check. Hopefully you caught that and were wondering what I was doing. So we'll do one last problem here, just because I'm not sure that you have seen one like this. Number 14. Square root of y is equal to 8 square root of 2. So you may be wondering, what do I do with this? Because I'm used to having just like radicals on both sides, or a radical on one side and a number on the other side. But we're going to follow the same procedure. We're still going to square both sides. So that goes and becomes y is equal to, well, now this squared goes on the 8 and the square root of 2. So 8 squared is 64 times the square root of 2 squared is just 2. So 64 times 2 is 128, I think. So we need to check it. So the square root of 128 is equal to 8 square root of 2. So now I need to break up this 128 into pieces, like we did in 11.2. So 128, well, we just said it was 64 and 2, so let's see what happens here. 64 is 8 and 8, so that means we can pull out an 8 and be left with the square root of 2, so that gives me 8 square root of 2 is equal to 8 square root of 2, so we're good. So now in 14, I put y is equal to 128. That's this one, so that's t. So anywhere I see a 14, I'm going to put a t. There's a 14. And that takes care of that one. Alright, so make sure you check all your answers. and make sure that you verify if they have a solution or not. Okay, so your work's done on a separate piece of paper, answers are put here, and then your letters or blanks are put beside it, so that way you can go back and verify very easily what you got. Alright, hopefully that helps to give you a few more examples, and everything else should kind of follow either from the examples I just did or from the previous video that went with the notes. So, make sure you do this after you watch the notes, please.